Alright, so this is a Fallout 4 Far Harbor no-hit run, and that is going to be starting from the first place that we can sort of actually get hit, which is in the
Come on,
vault
come on,
here,
come on.
and then getting into the DLC and completing a quest called Close to Home, which is what the
I'll
speedrunners
find who did
consider
this,
to be the end of this DLC,
and
and
I'll get
so
Sean back.
if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me, so that's what I'm doing as well. So the first kind of half, I guess, of this run is just the base game, like getting set up, making sure we've got a good weapon, and making sure we've got a lot of anti-radiation meds, because this DLC is really bad for radiation damage. Like, if you go in without enough radaways or radexes, then you're gonna die. Like, there's so much radiation. But first things first, we gotta get out of here. This strat's super consistent. I just keep third person so I can see things better. I'll wait for these roaches to sort of meet in the middle, have a chat, and then we use the melee vats to just teleport into a position to kill them. It means that the positioning's like super lenient on this section. You never really have to be in that much danger. Then here, I sort of climb and wait till this guy is right near the top of the stairs. I kind of chickened out on this one. But we want to wait till he's about there. And melee bats him. And then I'm just going to walk back down the stairs again. I want this guy to have seen me so he comes to check it out. And then we'll do the same to him. Sometimes you accidentally aggro him and it really sucks because then you've got to do like a Benny Hill thing with him, like running around, trapping him behind a door. And sometimes he'll like never de-aggro, and so you have to go back and kill him because it won't let you leave the vault until you've, like, if you're in combat. I always forget you've got to use this terminal to open this door. Like every time I run to that door, then realise. We got a gun now, so the rest of this is pretty easy. I say that, but I miss so many shots here. Like, yeah, there's another. It doesn't really matter though, you can have dog aim like I do and still get through. Oh, that's two. Third time's the charm. In this next room, there's going to be one here. And then one's going to pop up when we walk over the scientist, so sort of, yeah, creeping up to that. Vault's technically done now, but we basically have to wait as long as that took just to watch these cutscenes. It's so horrible. There's nothing I want more than to scrape the dust off of something. It's really worth it for me to sit through all these animations. It's adding a lot of immersion. Here's my special points. You can see it's basically all charisma, intelligence, and agility. In my original base game run, I put a lot more points into luck as well for Idiot Savant and Bloody Mess, but I found it's just like not really worth it in this one. We don't really need levels that much, and because it's a DLC and you're meant to be a higher level anyway, you get quite a good amount of EXP from all the missions, so we get to a decently high level without really having to do much. God, this takes ages. It's insane, actually. Miserable. Oh, here I think I'm just showing the difficulty. We play on normal. That's kind of like the usual hitless run accepted difficulty. Sort of a nice happy medium where things don't always die in one shot unless you're strong, but things aren't gonna just take fucking forever to kill. difficulty in these games is kind of a meme anyway. Like, it just makes everything a bullet sponge and miserable. So now that we're out, first thing we're going to do in Sanctuary is try to just loot any little things that are helpful, like radiation, medication, stim packs and that. And then our big goal is to find some form of charisma boosting clothing, just to make like some of the checks in the run a little nicer. We want to loot the house that's got all of the gold bars in, because they are how we are going to get our weapon in this run. We also want to make sure we're getting a little thing of mentats in one of the houses that's like snuck or stuck between two things in a room. And we also, really importantly, want to get the special book in here, because I only put 1 point into perception, and we need 2 to get the perk that's going to give us like boosts in damage to the gun we're using. So we're going to use this to get that 1 extra perception point so we can do that. Pick up like some random junk, because we do need to do a couple of upgrades to our gun to get it into the state we want it to be in. We're getting the Overseer's Guardian, which is a really crazy weapon, super high damage, but it starts off as more of an automatic weapon, and I want to switch it out to instead do a lot of damage in one shot and also have a longer barrel so we can kind of snipe a bit better with it. So we want to get some like materials and that, but it's not crazy important like it is in a base game run, since we don't have to do all of the like quests to build the teleporter into the Institute, and not doing the Minutemen quest that requires me to build a shit ton of turrets and stuff in order to make the castle not suck as a section. So gonna go up here, there's a little duffel bag. It didn't really have anything in this time. Sometimes you get really good loot in there, or at least like decent stuff. That time, yeah, pretty pointless. And now we're heading over here, because this is a really easy pickup for a Fat Man and a mini nuke, as well as some like little things we can sell and extra meds. This run, once we're in the DLC, we realistically want 2 mini nukes, because there's 2 Assaultrons in a row, and we kind of just want to Fat Man both of them, because otherwise they're a massive pain in the arse. They move sort of quick enough that even with like Jet and Psycho, they can sometimes catch you before you have a chance to kill them, and don't want to deal with that, so just gonna Fat Man them and be done with it. So here it is, propped up on that car. Gonna loot this stuff. It doesn't really matter that much in this run, but it's kind of just like a force of habit as well at this point to pick this all up. And the mini nuke is like stuck here. You gotta like walk into it to force it out. So here, I just want to take all the junk out of here. Like, just means that I've got more stuff for upgrading my weapon. It's really annoying when you have to like pause the run to try and like gather materials and that if you figure out you don't have enough of something, so I like to just play it on the safe side and pick up a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna do the same at this red rocket in a second. So I can't remember what RNG I got here. That cash register, sometimes it will be like 10 caps, and other times it will be like 25 pre-war money, which sells for so much more. I did get good chem RNG though. I got a jet and a psycho already, which is nice, because they are the cornerstone of any Fallout 4 hitless run, really. They're just super overpowered, so nice to get as many of them as I can. We're going to be getting like 50 of each very shortly, but it's nice having them early just in case you get into like a bad situation with a random spawn or something and you want to use a jet to just leg it away. I think I just got a second there as well, so we were absolutely cooking on this one. There was no way it could go wrong. Which, I mean, to be fair, I felt pretty confident because this was my second run of this, I guess. I'd already got it the day before, but I'm not really good at the whole OBS settings thing, and I'd somehow made it like completely like unintelligible of a recording. Like, genuinely impressive how dog shit it looked, so thought I guess I gotta do the run again. And this one did turn out better, to be fair, so it was probably a good thing. I think there was like one section at the end that was a little worse, but other than that, this one went pretty well, I'd say. Also figured out some things on that first run that just weren't important, and so this one was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes quicker as well, which is always nice. Especially because Fallout 4 is traditionally a pretty long run, all things considered. Fortunately, unlike the base game, this doesn't have a way of like fucking you over and adding a full hour to it. This questline's like pretty streamlined. It just works. Now that we've got that bottle of whiskey, which is what that detour was for, because we're going to use that for a pack of great mentats just to make our buying and selling power stronger when we go to buy our weapon. Because sort of the numbers we're dealing with, it's pretty expensive, and so 10% both sides of a trade is actually pretty noticeable. But yeah, now we're gonna just discover a few locations for EXP and move towards getting that gun from whatever the vault's called, 87. I've been through it so many times and I still don't feel confident in that. But we're gonna loot this Starlight Drive-In over here just as a way of getting a few extra like goodies for crafting and that. I can't remember if there was some radiation meds in here as well. And there's a fusion core too, which sells for really good. Really nice to have.
Yes.
I'm trying not to go like too far into this room because a roach can spawn if you do. So I leave that entire like left side of the room alone. I don't bother going into it. Just pick up as much as I can from near the door and then head out. As far as I know, I think this road is like 100% safe. I've never seen anything bad happen on it. So it's a really nice path for getting to like towards the city and the vault and I guess the police station. I usually, on my base game runs, I would always go to the police station and do like the first Brotherhood of Steel quest there and just let them kill all the ghouls, just because it gives a good amount of experience and things to loot. But on my first run of this that I got like the worst RNG ever, where both Dance and Halen were just completely useless at their jobs. Like, went down basically instantly to the ghouls, and the ghouls all just like ran off. and like in like every direction scattered, and you couldn't progress the quest until I'd like gone and hunted down all of them, which I wasn't gonna do because that is like a really easy way to get hit. And so I just left without that EXP, and it turned out to be completely fine for the rest of the run. And so I thought, well, if that's the case, I might as well just not do it because it's really boring and takes extra time. So I'm now just gonna beeline straight to the vault and not bother with that. It's a little annoying for like ammo and economy and that, but it doesn't really matter as long as we picked up enough stuff on the way. We do have to be a bit careful because there's like mines and stuff around here, but this road's safe enough. Then it's important we discover this place here, the Beantown Brewery, because it's what we're going to use to actually sort of travel back and make our way through most of the remaining bits of the base game once we've got our gun. We do a lot of travelling by water in this run, and in like the base game as well, just because water is somewhere you can't really get hit. A lot of people can't really see you in there unless you go too close to a bank. And there's no like random encounters or anything, which are the scariest part of these runs. And this location especially, I've come like quite wide here, just because you can get quite a few random spawns in this place. And I'm like trying to look for them from afar so that I don't like stumble into a bunch of super mutants. This one I think I just got like completely perfect RNG, no spawns at all. I could just stroll into the shack over there where we're gonna get some good drugs that we use. But I had one where I had both the super mutants and the raiders here spawn, and I just had to sit there for a couple minutes watching them fight until it was over. Just like couldn't progress really at all. So the random encounters are definitely like the biggest thing you need to learn running Fallout 4. So here we're getting this day tripper and some money, and then we want to go in here and use, oh god, that's embarrassing. We want to go in here and use the crafting table in order to make our great mentats. Also, because of this fertilizer there, this is a good place if you don't pick up any jets prior to make a couple, just so you've got them for the next section. Wasn't really that important in this run, just because I already had a couple, but it's never a bad thing to have more jet. It truly is the lifeblood of this run. And it's made of plastic and excrement, which is great. And I feel quite bad for what I'm doing to my little character, but I sort of compensate it by never letting him get shot, so you know, it's a 50-50. It's Volt 81, damn, that was close. So here, usually you've got to get them 3 fusion cores to get in here, but we are going to bypass that by using a bunch of charisma boosting stuff, and we're just going to give them a nice smile and say pretty please, and they're going to let us in, which is good because I don't actually know where I'd get 3 fusion cores.
Hold it right there.
I think I had a run that I did in the base game where I like forgot to use stuff before this, and I failed the speech check, and I did just like kind of have to reset because it was just like, well, I don't know what to do anymore. Unfortunate. It's really good to lose a run because you just like failed to do something. You didn't even get hit, it's just like, oh well, I just forgot to take one drug and now it's over. So it's probably a lesson there about drugs being good, but I'm not the one to tell you that. This conversation you can't skip, which is awesome.
That's all I'm asking.
Another classic Fallout 4 time waster.
No, we can't keep going on like this.
Sorry about that. As you'll soon see. What? We've never... No. Not anymore. I'm sorry. What happened? They had us cryogenically... Oh my...
You
I
gotta do
suppose
this
we-
long ass conversation before she
I'm
lets you
impressed he
down.
maintained his thing. But still,
But we're nearly at the part of the run where
if you
you
need
can like do something for the first time. And then after that there'll be like 40 more minutes of not doing anything, and then we get to the DLC and start doing things. It's the unfortunate thing about a DLC run like this is that you kind of do still need to do all the setup, but then the actual DLC itself is shorter than base game, so you don't get as many combat sections and that. Although I think a big part of that is just how Far Harbor itself is structured.
You. Hi.
So we're gonna buy our weapon and all of that now, so I like to get up here, sort of moral advantage over her, scare her into lowering her prices.
I might be interested in. Great.
Indeed.
And we want all of her 45 ammo, the Overseer's Guardian, and then we're just gonna start selling anything we don't need. So that's why I picked up the other wedding ring at the start, because it sells for decent money. Same for those magazines I've been picking up. But the big part is these gold bars, they sell for so much. And also pre-war money is really good. And then I think I like try min-maxing some of this ammo away to get good amount out of her. It doesn't hugely matter in this run. I don't think I'm ever really like stressing for money, but it's kind of nice to never have to worry about either if you just get as much as you can out of any trade. But now we've got a weapon that's like a really, really strong weapon, because it fires 2 bullets every time you shoot, but only consumes 1 bullet. So it's almost like essentially double damage every time you fire. It's really nuts. It's really nice being able to get it without any sort of real effort. Like, it's been, what, a 20-minute detour? Not even that, I think we left the vault like 5 minutes in to the run, and now 22 minutes in we've got this weapon. Like, really nice and efficient, and outside of the Fat Man for dealing with like bigger, stronger things, it's sort of good for every situation. It will never let us down, really. Sort of, it's got a pretty good fire rate as well, especially with Jet. So, like, in a skirmish where you've got to fire a lot, it still does its job well, but it's also a good sniper. Just kind of like a perfect all-arounder, really. Now we get another fun little running section to Diamond City, where we're gonna get another unskippable long-ass cutscene, but this time with Piper, because this is a game that respects the player's time. I know you can get random encounters around here too. There can be super mutants around here. I believe there's one with like 2 Deathclaws as well fighting. And so I'm trying to just always make sure I've got like a good vantage point. I don't like walking through like the trees and the grass and that, because it can make it harder to see those things. I like to just keep my vision clear, so I at least know that they are there in advance, and then I can think about sneaking around them if it does show up. But I think they're kind of rare there. They feel a lot rarer there compared to like the one outside the vault. I think I get that one like constantly. Whereas this one, not so much. I think the other run I did before this, I did get the double Deathclaw, and I just sort of walked away because they didn't see me. It wasn't actually that bad, but it was definitely quite scary at the time because I didn't really know that was a thing, and it just like, you just see that pop up, it's like, oh awesome, I'm fucked. Speaking of fucked, Piper's facial animations here look really good. I've seen this cutscene so many times now, and it never gets any less annoying. Like, my character can't even look at her, she's disgusted.
I live here. You can't just lock me out. You.
I refuse to make
You
eye
wanna
contact.
listen, right?
But yeah, we tell her we want into the city, and
You
then
hear that, Danny?
wait
You
a
gonna
million
open the
years
gate
for
and
this
let us
gate to
in, or are you gonna be
open.
the one talking to crazy Myrna about
Now
losing
this
out on all
bit,
the
I don't
supplies?
really know whether this was really needed. I think I could have skipped this, because I go up into the mayor's office like I usually would. And usually you do it to get the key to Kellogg's apartment for later. But I opted still to do it because it's a free desk fan to steal and a bottle of whiskey. And I think I kind of thought I was going to make another great mentats just for the rest of this setup, but I didn't have any more mentats, so I just didn't bother. And so it actually ended up being kind of a waste. Because there's another desk fan you can steal in the actual town. Like, you can just pick it up and carry it out of vision, and no one's gonna see you steal it. But, yeah, did it anyway. It's not really too bad of a time loss. It might not even be any slower, to be fair, because you gotta steal it, and then you've gotta get back and then run all the way up to this bar or whatever. It's probably about the same, actually. I think this elevator just tilts me because of how slow it is. Like everything in this game. And now we're gonna start our quest to get a whole bunch of drugs. You can skip like all of this conversation and that by just coming in and instantly leaving. Saves like a good minute or two of dialogue and watching whatever his name is get the shit beaten out of him. Although we still seem to magically know it happened. I think we just look at him and assume it.
Hey, you there?
Go ahead. I'm listening.
You were in.
You and the bartender got in a fight.
Nice. I'm supposed.
Sounds like a tough situation.
You don't know. I'm going to go. You saw.
You're gonna have to make it worth my
I
while.
kind of like, yeah, I extort him for a bit of money here just because I
This'll work
can.
better if I-
Probably.
And then tell him to leave
Get him.
just for the sake of making this a little quicker. One less bullet.
Hi, hello there. So lovely to see more young people.
Meet you there then. Don't be late.
Yeah, I'll be there. I just have to close up.
Now, I let him leave because I don't really know what happens if you don't. I don't know if I killed him there, would it just mess up the quest, so I just don't bother. And yeah, I get my first level ups. Rifleman, obviously really good for this weapon. It's going to give us extra damage, which is what we want. And arguably the most important thing is the one that makes our chems last 50% longer, or however much it is at level 1. Like, this is, as I mentioned, this is more about Jet than it is anything else this run. More time on our Jet is more good, more smiles.
I want it so much.
Anyone here know one of those?
So here, I'm gonna get a hardened receiver, we're gonna get a long barrel, and that's gonna make our gun, like I said, this one-shot sniper weapon as opposed to a more automatic thing. And yeah, I went to try and make great mentats, realised I can't, and sort of stun-locked myself for a few seconds trying to figure out what to do.
You have a legitimate
Yeah,
medical
don't know
concern.
what's going on anymore. And then, now, I just decide we're gonna go get the drugs. So we travel to that Beantown brewery we discovered earlier. It's sort of, that's why I said it was a good place to have. It just means it's really easy to get to this river. And using this river, we can get to the place that they are having their drug deal very easily. And we're gonna have a really good angle for getting on like a bridge overlooking them, which means we can just snipe them from a distance. Don't have to worry at all about actually like engaging with them in any way. We're just going to pick them off from so far away they can't really attack us back. And we're going to use a jet too, so by the time they even kind of realise that they're getting shot, they're all going to be dead. Because jet's really balanced and fine in this game. Not that I'm complaining, because this run would suck without it. So we scope them out to get into spawn, just so we can see where they're all standing. And then popping one jet is enough to just cleanly get all of them like that. It's annoying you can't like proc jet with a hotkey if you're using your scope. So you've kind of got to see where they are, unscope, jet, and rescope. It would be very handy for this run if you could use it while scoped, but I guess that might have been just a bit too overpowered. Now, we're gonna spam down on this conversation with Trish. As long as you just press the bottom option every time, it literally doesn't matter at all what you do. Like, you can fail the speech check that's gonna come up and doesn't matter at all. It's just another time waster.
Sounds like a pretty secure operation. Right. And there's it. I promise.
But, I mean, since our charisma's so high, we pass it anyway, which, I mean, a bit more XP, which isn't too bad. Doesn't really matter, though. We want to loot all of those guys, because one of them's got a ton of money. The rest have a ton of bullets that are the same as the gun we use, so that's always nice. And then we're going to get back in the river and keep swimming up. Because I need 2 mini nukes for this run, I decided that I might as well just still do Good Neighbor, because there's a very easy nuke I can steal from the shop there. And it's a chance to buy some more radiation meds and stuff as well, because you really do just want to be really kitted out for this run. It's quite scary at some sections if you don't have them. You can come into like quite a bad risk of dying to radiation, which would just be like a lame way to go. Like losing a run, you didn't even get hit, you just died to the environment because it slowly ticked a number up enough. That would suck. I don't want that to happen, so it's important to just prepare a lot in the main game. And up here, there's a couple of dogs sleeping around here that I'm going to pick off. It should be pretty easy from up here. You shouldn't have to use a jet, but you do have them if you need them, but if you hit your shots, then it doesn't really matter. I'll go for that one first, because I believe it's an alpha one that's got a bit more health. So I want my sneak attack to be on that one. And then the others I just one shot anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We want to get Cabo House here? Cabot House? I don't know. I don't know at all. Whichever one it is, we want to get it. just because it's a good fast travel point for after we're done in Good Neighbor. Allows us to then get right back to the river. And this is a nice path to Good Neighbor. Like, this is super safe. This is what I did in my any percent as well. We go through here. I check here because there can be a random spawn with some super mutants. You can kind of hear them in the distance fighting somewhere else, but it doesn't really matter here. And there's 3 gunners here, who they won't aggro immediately upon seeing you, but they will if you get into a position they don't like. So I'm just gonna pick them off with some jet headshots there and run through. I've never seen this mailman here, but sorry to see that happen to him. But now you'll hear a super mutant is gonna like see me, and I'm gonna check and see it's in caution, so I don't care. If it had been like danger or I thought he was coming up to me, I would have procced a jet so I could just run that bit faster to get away from him. Now, Good Neighbor, I just shoot this guy instantly because this cutscene's annoying. Then we want to talk to, what's her name, Daisy? Just because it's a bit more radiation medication. We can just stock up on as much as she has. I think it's kind of RNG how many she actually has, but she had like a decent amount here. Have to sell a bunch of my shit to afford it, because this game takes place in America. And then I don't know what I was looking for here. I think I was trying to make a bit more money, but then I sort of remembered it doesn't matter at all. I can give over most of my caps to her and it's fine. And then here I forget the entire reason I came. I'm like, yeah, got my medication, that's good enough, let's leave. And then remembered, like, the actual important part about coming here was to pick up that mini nuke. And so I'm gonna have a moment of realization, I believe after I waste a Radex that I've just bought, where I realise I've got to go back and get that nuke. Yep, that's -1. And there's the moment of realization. Actually, no, I go on the map first, and then that somehow reminds me that I haven't done it.
I like you. Walk into a new place, making sure.
Well, hello.
A new player in Good Neighbor. Hello, little pawn.
Right, fortunately, they fall for the oldest trick in the book. You can shoplift from real-life shops as well by doing that. Just pick it up, take it out of the shop, but don't let them know you're officially claiming it until they can't see you, and they'll be fine with it. And so now that we've got that, we can actually move on this time. Mourning my 1 Radex that I used, because they're actually useful. Yeah, it's worn off. Just completely ruined my day. I accidentally use a purified water too while we're at it. Now, this is where it's gonna get very boring. I mentioned before that the safest way to move in this game is through water, and there just so happens to be a nice big ocean you can swim all the way from here up to the Nakano residence from, and it takes ages, but so does walking from wherever my closest fast travel point is up to there. But the difference there is I then have to actually like be looking for enemies and fighting things, and there's chances to get hit. It's probably like landmines I don't know about in places. And so there's gonna be a good 10 plus minutes of swimming here. I will probably put a timestamp in the description to skip like directly to the start of the DLC, because nothing that happens from now until then is going to be interesting by any means. So I'm probably going to shut up as well for that amount of time, because not really much I can say about this. And swimming, I don't even like swimming, I'm scared of the water. But I will also probably upload a version of this with no commentary as well, for if you want me to shut up for the entire thing as well. That's fine, I don't take any offence to it, I probably would as well. So I'll return after that swimming is done.
damn it! Come in! I know you're listening on the other end. Where is she? Where is my daughter? What? Who are you?
I heard the shouting.
A good... I know.
I'll find her. Don't you worry.
Thank...
Project log? Myself. I never really thought about who or what I am, but... God. Where do I start? The radio. I was right about the range. I managed to get a signal, a strong signal, from up north. There's a group of people up there. They say they're all synthetic people, made by the Institute. They're trying to build a place for their kind, where they can be themselves and be accepted for what they are alongside human beings. It sounds wonderful, but then they started asking about me, and some questions came up. Questions I don't have answers to. I mean, I've always felt off, like I'm not really supposed to be here, but then there are things in my childhood I can't remember, and I've been having strange dreams. I'm going to go to meet these synths. I have to know the truth about myself. They've told me to sail up north to a town called Far Harbor. I can make my way to them from there.
Mr. Nakano,
Have you finished your investigation? Did you...
I think I know where Kasumi went.
She went there?
Wait,
Sure.
did you find out?
What does it matter?
Because
Your daughter made contact with...
What?
Maybe your daughter is just confused.
oh God,
This... You have...
Oh. I'll get to the bottom of this, Kenji.
Thank...
Boo, did I scare you? I'm back.
this is Far Harbor.
So now we're actually at the DLC. We gotta do a boring conversation with Yasuo from League of Legends. He's being a dick, what's new? And Captain Avery, who is alive and well. Here... Oh, I have a tragedy here. I just go for the first level point that has a guy crouching down in it. And I get Commando, which is really cool for this run because it does literally nothing. I wanted the sneak one below it, but it's fine. We get so many like unused skill points in this run, like we get far too much EXP for what we actually need, and so I can just get the sneak one later, but it upset me at the time. This section, like every time there's one of these brute battles, both in the main game and in this at the end, the scariest thing is not the enemies, it is your teammates. Because these guys are all equipped with like grenades and molotovs, and they love throwing them at you. So we gotta be scared of that. I'm just trying to pick off some of these things to make it go a little quicker, but it doesn't really matter how much you engage in this part. If anything, let's see. Oh, I got like quite lucky there. Like I nearly got blown up by one of our own grenades or something. So maybe I shouldn't have bothered fighting. I should have just let them win. I think they're all invincible, so like the town will always win eventually. At this part I do like to interject though, because I believe these anglers have ranged attacks, and those are actually scary, so I like to just get rid of them, like jet and headshot both of them, just so, you know, I don't get hit by some stray meatball attack they throw out. And I probably should have just stopped fighting around there, because like, God, look how lucky that was, like, because one of them just got bored and threw one at me instead of the enemies, like, that could have, like, definitely hit me and ended the run. So I like to like look for these frag mines that are left and blow them up, because I'm going to be walking through that section in a little bit. Just like not worth getting blown up by one of them. Might as well clear them out while I can.
If you manage to survive,
Time you.
The fog's. It's no need.
right? Can we get back to business?
You're here for getting there.
Now we
one-
just progress the quest. We don't want a guide from Odd Longfellow because we're not going to go an actual normal route. We're going to like scale a cliff to get there. And then I decided I wanted to talk to the doctor just to get rid of all these rads and that without having to use any of my meds, just because it, you know, I want to keep as many as I can. I spammed through too quickly and cured health when I was at full health. I think this actually bugs my game in a second, you'll see, but yeah, I wanted to do rads and then health, and I had to do rads health instead. So that's minus 35 caps, I guess. That's not really the problem, I guess. The problem is I had to spend even more time in Fallout 4 with one of these unskippable annoying cutscenes. Yeah, just keep injecting me, dude, it's fine.
And that's that. Anything else bothering you?
Now you can see I've got like a tiny sliver of health missing. I don't know why. I'm gonna put a marker for Arcadia just to make it easier. But yeah, I'm gonna notice in a sec that I've got like 1 health missing. And then I use a stim pack here, just because it's nice to have full health in these runs, because it makes it easier to tell when you've been hit if it's like not super clear sometimes. But you see, the stim pack also doesn't heal me. I'm still on 96. I'm like checking to see if I've got like a disease or something that's taken 1 health off of me. But I think something about healing when you've got full health but a bunch of rads maybe like bugged the health bar somehow. I don't really know. It didn't matter at all for this run. It goes away after I go into a building, I think, so it was just confusing for her. But we're gonna make our way to Arcadia, going up this cliff, sort of scaling by just jumping against it. Means we don't have to do any of Longfellow's like weird escorted tour that's got enemies on it. We can just completely bypass everything. It's pretty quick, which is nice as well. The Far Harbour map is pretty small, all things considered. Like, well, at least it feels really small. But I guess I'm pretty used to the base game map, which takes ages to walk anywhere in. So being small, definitely not a criticism. I think any of these DLCs that have got like their own separate map are pretty cool. It's no Shivering Isles though. That one's the best one. That shit's good as hell. I still haven't actually done that in the remaster. We've got to try that. But yeah, now we're gonna walk up the hill to Acadia, and we're gonna get to meet Dima for the first time. And he's gonna get all poetic on me, talking about walking up a hill or whatever. Don't really care. I know nothing about the lore for this DLC. I can finally get my sneak point as well. God, he looks disgusting.
I came here.
I hate this guy. But we're just gonna spam down on all of his dialogue.
I have to be
Just
honest.
agree with everything he says. Like, yeah, fuck it, dude, I'm a simp, who cares? Just let me go talk to Kasumi.
Thank you. I should get going.
Of course.
Perhaps we're in there a long time. Are you feeling all right? Sometimes I feel like you don't worry enough.
It does my favourite Fallout 4 thing, where it makes you just have a constant conversation ping-ponging between two characters, and it puts those characters as far away in the building you're in as
I'm a
possible,
detective.
so it just
I was
pads out your playtime and makes the game feel bigger than it is, because you're just spending like an hour running between two people.
It must be hard for you.
Yeah, I can't.
If something's going
But
on,
we're just gonna go through all of her dialogue,
I'm listening.
and we go
Okay. You
talk to Dima. Kasumi wants me to do like all sorts of weird, you know, like espionage bullshit, hacking his terminal, getting through doors I can't lockpick. But I'm a pretty charismatic guy. I got my suit on, I'm looking clean, my clothes are on point, I smell amazing. I'm just gonna convince Dima to do what I want instead, with just a beautiful smile and kind words. And alcohol as well, that's a big part of it.
Please, those.
If this thing involves the whole.
I suppose there's some.
Yeah.
There's a.
Which was a. But I see.
If you.
I'll get your memories, Dima.
If we're.
And you know, you'd think after that conversation I could just go and actually get his memories. Nope. Gotta walk down 3 stories to talk to Kasumi again, so she can have fucking nothing.
Memories are in the hands of the children of Adam. He's afraid of what they're going to find.
So, is that what those or do?
I got this program that Faraday and
Like, all I'm doing is telling her what I was going to do anyway. Like, this does not matter at all. But she does give me money, which is great, except that I don't think I buy anything the rest of the run, so it's actually useless. But I do like having money. Then we swap back to that for a little bit of a shielding from the radiation. It doesn't do a huge amount, but it is pretty noticeable. I think it drops it from like 10 to 5, so I guess that is like cutting it in half. It would have been very nice if I could have gotten a hazmat suit easily for this, but it's really annoying to get one in the base game without doing like a bunch of the quests. And so, next thing is we are going to the Children of Atom compound. So, I sort of go quite direct on the compass, I guess, towards it, down these cliffs. You gotta be quite careful here, because there can be a bunch of bears, like, walking around. I think I'm gonna see them in a second after I get across the river, so yeah, there they were to the right. And there's also some of these plants, those angler enemies, that over there, those orange ones. So I want to make sure I'm not getting close enough to them to make them pop out. But other than that, it's a pretty smooth running section, honestly. Like, a lot of just climbing up this. There is going to be like a, I guess, compound area where it's a bunch of guys with guns nearby. We don't want anything to do with that, so I'm going to try and make sure I stray away from that. I'd get rid of that quest. I've had that on my map marker the whole time and it finally annoyed me enough to get rid of it. Then we just want to make sure we're like going quite sticky towards the edge of this so that we don't fall and take damage. Wouldn't be the end of the world as long as it didn't kill us. It still counts as not being hit, but I like the damageless qualifier as well. I think it's like, for games like this where it's not like, you know, a Souls game where it's more about dodging enemy movesets and that, I think it's cooler doing it damageless because it means that your routing was like really good in terms of taking like the nicest, safest paths. You're not worrying about falling off stuff accidentally. So like when I've done other Fallout runs and when I've run Dishonored, I've always tried doing it damageless just for that. Although in this game it's a bit like weird because obviously the radiation thing is there, like it calls it radiation damage, but I wouldn't really count it, mainly on the fact that it's like completely unavoidable to complete any of them. Like base game you've got to do the glowing sea, this game we've got to do this whole quest for these guys, which requires going into a big irradiated area. There's also the random rad storms you can get, and that's just like completely unavoidable. So I feel like radiation damage just doesn't count at all for this game. I think it was like an enemy attack, like if it was like a glowing one doing like an AoE that did radiation damage to you, I might count that as a hit, I guess, but anything else, like, nah.
This is insane. You can't expect us to.
So that guy's gonna get his shit exploded,
That'll be all.
and we're gonna talk to these guys, who are really cool and not insane.
Did Far Harbor send you?
It's okay.
Honestly, crazy he's managed to get that hairstyle living in these conditions.
All right. I'll do
Because
what I need.
radiation does great things instead of hair gel. Now we're gonna try and get to the fountain, the spring, so that we can do by far the most visually and audibly obnoxious part of the whole run. But first we've got to go through here. I don't really have a good path for this bit, to be honest. I think here you're gonna see like I see an enemy there, and I just like end up spamming a bunch of jets, I think, to just run away. I could have probably just gone straight for the water instead and tried to do it that way, but I've never really been able to find like a consistently good path through this bit where I don't see any enemies. I kind of just ad-lib it every time and try, use jets if I have to. Because we've got so many of them, it's like, it would be impossible to ever like organically burn through all your jets on a run like this if you're not just using them for fun. So you don't really have to feel bad about using them. If you feel like even like the tiniest bit unsafe, you might as well. And now we're gonna, I guess, find out that their weird radiation religion is just like 100% real. That's fine, I guess. It's an odd choice, but if that's what Bethesda wants to do. Then this is one of the parts where it's really good to have the Rad-X. there's going to be a bit here where even with like radiation absorbing armor and a Rad-X, I'm still taking like 13 a second. Like, yeah, it's crazy at some of these points, and so this is like one of the big sections why I wanted a ton of radiation meds and stuff. This is a place you can definitely die if you're not prepared. Now, there are a ton of ghouls around here, and oh god, look how good the visibility is. I love this awful green glow on top of my scope, making it all brighter. And then, if I want to use jet, that makes my screen even brighter too, so it just gets to a point where I just cannot see, like, anything. Like, just faint silhouettes in the distance. And it's really loud. There's this like rumbling and the like laughter sounds. I hate this bit. The faint outline of a ghoul there. Like, look how bright it is, dude. It sucks. They really like the filter they put on you when you use jet really like does not interact well with a lot of things in this game. It's same like in the base game when I was in the Institute in the final level. I try to fight as little as possible because it gets so bright in there if you use your scope with jet out. So we got the jet addiction finally, been waiting on that. All it does is take away 1 agility if you're not using a jet, which means pretty much nothing. Like, it's part of why I take 9 agility as well, just so I'm not like hurting for it if I lose a point. Anyway, he did like a cool dance when he died. I get confused here because the combat music's still playing, but it says I'm hidden and it lets me use the password, so I guess it's fine.
H-E-R. Mother? Could that be the password?
We pick up this thing, and that will let them just let us into the nucleus. It means we don't have to, like, find a way to sneak through there while getting shot at. Like, I don't see a way where that's ever, like, a feasible strategy. Maybe with, like, stealth boys and jet and shit. Oh, I think I, like, pressed the Windows key instead of uncrouching there. That's why it went, like, weird for a second.
Something to you?
I drank from the spring.
A woman?
It was...
Adam, if
I
Yep,
am ready.
it's all real. All of the Children of Atom's beliefs are real. I use this, like, radiation armor they give me just because it's a bit better for that. And it looks kind of fun.
They are doomed, brothers and sisters, and they know it. The people of Far Harbor need only peer out their windows to look upon the face of Atom.
We can ignore, like, everything inside the real compound. We're just going straight for the bit with Dima's memories in. Don't really want to spend any more time around these nut jobs than I have to.
Last child tried...
I don't bother at all with, like, trying to sneak around these, like, turrets or whatever, these tripwires. I just decided I might as well just destroy them all and then it doesn't matter. Your first shot here will not do anything, it will just aggro. So I shoot that, it's going to do no damage, I proc a jet, and then I shoot them back to front, just because that explosion makes it hard to aim if it's in front of one of the other ones. So doing it that way just means, you know, makes it a little easier to aim. I don't have to rely on, like, remembering where they are. And then you can just walk through those laser things, it does nothing. Destroy that one. I like to wait and just make sure the robots in the other room de-aggro. Because Protectrons are actually one of the more annoying enemies in this game for no hit. Because their shots can come out like really quickly, even through jet, and they're quite tanky. So I'm waiting here because there's going to be a Mr. Gutsy that's going to walk out, and he's going to turn around towards that door at the end of the corridor. And so it gives me a chance to sneak attack him and destroy that turret at the same time. So there he is. And once again, I'm going to just give that Protectron a bit of time to de-aggro. This is, I guess, the second most dangerous part of this run, this level. And so there's like no reason to take it too fast and put yourself in danger. I try to close like a lot of these doors as I'm going, just to make sure if there's something in there, it's not going to be able to see me. Oh, I got like jump scared by this guy. He's like not usually that far up for me. I'm used to being able to like loot that container without him coming near me. So I was kind of shocked that he was in range to go into caution, but fortunately he was facing the other way. I might have had to like proc a jet and then just like run away if not. So the first Assaultron is around here and it loves to patrol this corridor a bit. It's quite awkward to get. I think I used to try like go around, oh there it is. And it's kind of like just walking, it's pacing back and forth here and I don't really know why. I think usually it goes backwards into that room. Because sometimes you can like kill it and the turrets and the Protectron with one fat man if it walks into the right position. But that one seemed like it was kind of just stuck in place. So we can get Rifleman there. That's like, I think the last level up that actually matters in this run. But yeah, because we just took out the Assaultron on its own, I'm going to have to sort of wait for things to settle down. Then I'm going to go back and take out the rest of them individually. One jet should still be enough to get rid of the Protectron and both of the turrets. We just got to be safe about how we approach, because he could still be around here. And yeah, he very nearly walked back on me. He hadn't like de-aggroed properly, I guess. Like these robots have kind of weird, janky AI. I don't like dealing with them that much. Well, I guess it's easier to say everything in Fallout 4 has odd, janky AI, but this section seems to mess with them more than other ones. Like, I've noticed it a lot more here than I have in some of the other sections. So, sneak attacks one-shot him, which is nice. And then we can creep around and get those turrets. And now here, we are gonna see why I made sure to get a second Fat Man ammo. Because as soon as we turn the power on in this room to access the greatest minigame of all time, it's gonna spawn a Assaultron out of that doorway. So as soon as I interact with this, I prop a jet, and I run around here, and I wait for this door to open, so I can fire directly into it. This time, I've never seen it get that far out of the door that quickly. A lot of times it's like waited for the door to fully open, but that one, he was like eager, he just fucking got straight out. And yeah, so funny thing, I actually originally tried to route this run like right after I did the main game run, and then I got to this part after forgetting that it was in the game, and I uninstalled Fallout 4 because I remembered how much I fucking hated this. But fortunately it's actually completely fine. This is I stole the strategy just from the speedrunners, how they do it, and it makes this part super nice. I don't actually think you can get hit here. I don't think you've got like health or whatever in this section, so you're not in danger other than like in real life of dying of boredom.
This is what I see.
So we're just gonna make like the most basic paths we can at first, and then set up our guns in a couple of like main positions where these things are gonna spawn, just to make sure our friendly green sprites are safe. And also I guess making sure we don't fall off, because that would count as a hit. Like usually in these games, or in hitless games in general, if you fall off an edge and the screen turns black, that's kind of usually considered a hit. It's sort of like a death to fall damage in a way. I love the way he says friendly green sprites. It sounds like a bad kids movie. But yeah, our little bug fellas, pretty safe. I don't think any of them even die in this run. This setup is really good. The speedrunners know what they're doing.
All the data in the memory, the program will
now we're just waiting for my little boys to come. Look at him move. Look at him go. Oh, he's confused, but he's got the spirit. He's going back. Oh no, no! Oh, he's done a cool spin. There we go.
From wherever you left off.
Then I think I was playing on my phone here, and I missed the pop-up that said I was done. So I got like kind of confused. I was trying to figure out what was happening, because I just completely checked out as soon as I like placed that last block. And so here I'm like checking whether it's actually finished, and then once I hear her speaking, it's like, yeah, no, it is.
Converted to audio transcription. Beginning playback.
Things are not going well with Far Harbor.
Now, once we've gotten this memory thing, it will eventually give us a fast travel, or not fast travel point, but a map marker for where we're next going, which is good because I couldn't actually remember where it was, like, off by like the map. So I'm just leaving while listening to that.
On our side.
I got a bit scared of doing that drop for some reason. I thought like, oh, I'm going to take damage, so I did it really slow. I don't think you can even take damage there.
Additional location data appended.
But now, this next section, the Vim factory, is like by far the hardest part of this run, and I don't even think it's close, to be honest. Nothing else in this has anywhere near the chance of getting hit that this does.
Watch yourself out.
It's like a particularly nasty segment because it's a combination of quite a few enemies with guns, quite a bit of weird verticality, and also a lot of sections where the floor is see-through but you can't shoot through it, and it means that it's like a bit harder to be stealthy, but you also don't actually have as many good angles for like fighting them. And the outside, I think the outside on this run fucked me really hard for ages, because there was just one super mutant who I was trying to get, who kept like, I kept not being able to target him when he was in one of the few spaces you can actually shoot through to hit him. Because once again, the lighting with the jet does not look good, and I just like couldn't even see him once I procced it. So I think I'm about to have like a 2-minute back and forth with one particular mutant just trying to get him. He's also one of the mutants that's like holding a mini nuke, which is pretty scary too. So you've got to kill him from far enough away that he's not going to blow you up as well. And there's quite a lot of angles for some of the ones on the roof to have like an angle to shoot you. So this is a section, especially because of how late it is in the run as well, that I just take like really safe, probably like too safe, like obnoxiously safe, but I can either waste a couple minutes here, or I can waste however long this took, an hour and a half is it to get here, an hour 20. Yeah, I'd much rather just have it take a little longer than have to start again and have to do all the setup again, do that long ass swim here again. So yeah, I'm looking up here now to try see. I can see his little beep up there, but I'm trying to find a way, an angle, and I've tested through here. You can't shoot through these gaps, even though it looks like you should be able to. So I'm waiting to see, maybe he's gonna like walk all the way around up to here and walk down the stairs. That's a pretty good place to shoot him from. But I'm kind of struggling to see because of all the god rays, like. My eyesight's not my strongest quality anyway, and so this is like hell for me. And no, he went that way instead. So I'm trying to like find an angle to look, and you see there he spotted me for the floor, but not enough. And so he's just like running around aimlessly again, and I can't really progress until he walks into a good spot. I think I'm going to try shoot him through this gap in a second that I just miss. No, so he walks in a way where his head isn't actually like possible to hit through it. So I'm waiting to see if he'll now come through these stairs. And he's walking that way back towards me again, like. It's horrible pathing, like, awful to deal with, this AI, like, there's so few places where you can shoot these guys safely, because if I do kind of progress on him, like I go up the stairs to try shoot him, there's every chance that one of the other mutants with a gun is just gonna be in a position to kill me. Yeah, I tried going for the shot there, just didn't work, but I think it was good because it kind of baited him actually down. And I probably shouldn't have shot the bomb. I was kind of trying to go for the torso and just kind of missed a bit, but I wasn't close enough to take damage, so it's fine. And in a way, maybe it baits some of the other ones closer, which is good. I think 2 of them come down the stairs here, which is what we want. We want them nice and out in the open, because the geometry around here is just really hard to actually hit anything from. But I guess the nice upside is that I can still see them through it at least, even they can also see me. But yeah, we see them coming down now, so I'm waiting to see if they walk around this. And then they instantly de-aggro before they do. Like, they trolled me so hard here, it sucks. So, I can't remember, I think I wait for them to like walk a bit and then I just decide to like go for it at this point. I think I had gotten sick of it. Like, we've been here like nearly 4 minutes just dealing with these guys. Oh my god, look at that light. I can't see anything. No, this was a disaster, this whole section. Right, this was the one where I said, like, basically everything in my other run went worse than in this run, but this is the, like, exception. This section went so bad in this run. But, I mean, I guess it was never really, like, in much danger of me getting hit, I guess, which is the nice part, but, I mean, this part's a little scuffed because this guy's got a gun, but... And that was some good collision on that. But once we got these 3 guys dead, this section outside at least is completely fine. It's just like they path so strangely around this area, and you've got to just play it so safe because it's really easy to get shot from an angle you can't really see. So I'm like spamming VATs here to try and like get them, like, if there's any left, because I know there's more that can be around here, but they were evidently somewhere far away, so it doesn't really matter. Now when you get in here, first thing you want to do is shoot through this window when this guy comes up. This I found is pretty consistent. This guy always seems to walk up here. And then the rest of them have slightly inconsistent positions. This guy comes out, which is good. Sometimes he doesn't. And I think there's one on the floor below. I sort of look for him. I don't think I get him. I think the angle ended up just being in a position I didn't want to chance it. There can be a mutant in this room too. I'm like vatsing for him and just keep getting that robot instead. So I'm closing that door just in case he does come around, so he doesn't like poke his head through and see me. Psycho addiction does not matter at all. It does like nothing. Because all of our combat sections, we've got it on anyway. So this section, I kind of like just taking like one pot shot, seeing what I aggro, trying to see if I can bait as many things as possible through this doorway so I can shoot them easily like that. There's going to be like 2 dogs and a couple of other mutants. Look at this guy poking his head out. And then probably didn't need a jet there because these guys are all melee, but it's kind of nice to just take them out quick. And like I said, I've got like millions of them, so it's always worth using a jet if you think there's even a 1% chance it might help. And now this is where it gets a little scary, because they are just like aimlessly firing down there because they've had enough bullets. And I've got to just kind of wait it out. You can see one down there in that section, but I didn't react in time to shoot him. There's one down there as well. Could have probably gone for, but I think I was a little scared at this point. Like, if I kept shooting, would they eventually see me? Because if they looked up at the right angle, they would see me now. But fortunately, they don't really bother with that a lot of the time. So I'm just going to let him go. I couldn't tell if there was oil on the floor there as well. I'm always like cautious of stuff like that because you never know how Fallout's gonna fuck you. You can get some like glowing mole rats around here too. I don't know if standing on that dirt patch is part of it, so I always try not to. But yeah, I'm very scared every time I hit bullets. Even if they're not firing at me, like, you never know when they're just gonna randomly hit me. So, gonna take this guy out and look to see anyone else. He's having his cool bath with his clothes on. What a freak. I'm gonna shoot him. And now I know there's at least one other down there, that one that I saw earlier. But I'm trying to scout him out, and there he is. That's actually a really nice position for him. Sometimes he gets stuck somewhere like really hard to aim at him from. Now, I'm trying to think in my head whether I've counted all of them. And I don't know. I think I have, but I'm not sure. So I'm like spamming VATs as I'm walking through here to try to see if I can pick one up. But they seem to all actually be gone, so that was good. And that's this quest kind of done, really. As long as you weren't like too gun-ho when you went in with like the ones outside, you should just be able to fast travel the second you leave here. And so there's nothing that can really hit you anymore in this bit. And that's kind of, I mean, that's the hard part of the run done. there's still one more mission, and it is one that feels quite scary, because it's another one where you've got, like, people fighting with you. And as I mentioned at the hole earlier, it is, like, the hardest part is always when you've got teammates, because they love killing you. They will do anything other than throw Molotovs at the enemies. They love throwing them at you. So yeah, I'm still checking. I was like so scared here. Like in my head I was thinking like surely there's one more. It felt like it had been too easy. I think on the run I did previous to this one, this section, while the outside was a lot better, I think the inside was pretty bad. And so I think I was still like a little traumatized by that. Here I'm checking to see if that mutant is in there, but he doesn't seem to be, so we can just leave. I really like that power armor, the Vim power armor. I don't know what drink Vim is meant to be. Is it like Sprite or like Fanta? I don't know. I want to try it though. I need a fresh Vim on these warm days. Because it's humid as fuck here and I hate it. So I'm gonna travel to Acadia. This is also part of why I wanted like such high speech in that. Because what I want to do here is first talk to Kasumi. Because you can report back to her and she gives you, as long as you don't say I'm gonna kill everyone here, she will give you some pretty good items, including a stealth boy or 3 stealth boys, which are the main reason really. Like I want those stealth boys. And then afterwards we're gonna go talk to Dima and we want to pass a pretty hard speech check on him to get him to go turn himself in, because it means that we can get rid of him for the final battle here, which means just one less guy to deal with, makes it go a little bit smoother, because it's a really janky section.
I think he just wants peace. So, Acadia is still...
So we just spam through all her dialogue. Get my 3 stealth boys. And now, I mean, we're gonna have to break the news to Dima that he is a murderer. I'm gonna take the day tripper and that. My charisma should be like 14, I think, or something like that now, so it's quite hard to fail speech checks at that point. They're quite hard. I don't know if it's physically impossible to. I don't really understand how it works in this game, to be honest.
You did the right thing.
I'm gonna gas him up, tell him like, yeah, no, it's honestly cool, you're a murderer, but I do think you should turn yourself in because it's evil.
Make your case. Yes.
Because his responses are basically the same no matter what you say, because Fall at 4 is an RPG.
You can't. Dima, if you go down there, you're not coming back.
Now we go back to Far Harbor.
My long walk is over.
What you but early
Dima's actions were deeply...
So this part, it literally doesn't matter what I say. I can pass every speech check I want, can make Yasuo as mad as I want to. Doesn't matter. It literally a pointless segment, because if you didn't do all of the quests beforehand, you just cannot change the outcome. I really do not like it. I'm hiding in here just because at one point they like all shoot a guy and I'm always just scared that I'm somehow gonna get hit. I don't know if that's even possible, but I'd rather just hide. And now we've got our last section, which is this battle for Arcadia. And I don't like to start the battle by like talking to Yasuo, because there's a guard directly above where all of the town people stand, that one there, and they can like instantly shoot you as soon as that conversation ends, because you're instantly an enemy. So instead what I like to do is start the battle for myself. So just like Psycho, Stealth Boy, and there's two over here that you can just easily pick off with a jet. And now I'm just gonna peace out of there and let the rest of them deal with the fight on their own. And it just means that, yeah, you're not locked into dialogue and instantly getting shot as soon as you get out of it, which is like pure RNG. Like which one they choose to target. Because I don't think you can do anything about it if they choose to target you. So, just gonna wait it out over here. An important thing about this whole section, really, is that everyone, I believe, with a name from Far Harbor is just invincible. Like they'll always get back up afterwards. So you don't actually have to interfere at all. They will always eventually win given enough time. It's sort of similar to the logic behind what I did for the final mission of the base game, where I just say, I'm gonna hide and I'm gonna let all of these characters who can't die, like, just through sheer attrition, eventually win, no matter how long it takes. This is much easier than the base game one to not get hit in, though, at least. And it doesn't take anywhere near as long. So, yeah, I'm just gonna sneak behind here, stay a bit out of range. I'm looking at all of these green markers are an enemy, so that's always nice as well. You know where everyone who can hit you is. Although saying that, the Molotovs and the grenades from my own teammates are still the scariest part. Now we're just waiting. I always know Faraday is in this next room, one of the markers. And I usually like going in to kill him. I think on this run it ended up being kind of a mistake because I did it when there were still people on this top floor. It's pretty good to do if everyone on this floor's kind of died and they've moved down to the next floor to fight. It means that like you can just pick him off while the others are fighting downstairs. But I jumped the gun on it. Here I go way too quickly and it makes it a little bit scary. I think I saw them run away and I think I just assumed it was safe, but they evidently come back up onto this level. Yeah, you can see the marker again there. It faded away and I think I just assumed I was safe, but I was not. Fortunately, with the stealth boys, I'm pretty much fine. I had jets as well, obviously, so if I saw one of them approaching the door, I could like prot to jet and just tried to kill him as quick as possible. I'm like keeping an eye on that guy to see where he ends up, but just spamming through my stealth boys in the hope that they're gonna kill all of them soon. They do aggro, so it's fine, and that quest propping means that Kasumi is dead, so I believe I can technically just leave now and like complete that and it would technically count, but I like to just finish this quest. It feels a bit more completed if I do the end of this as well. So gonna talk to Yasuo one last time and he's gonna say, wow, I really like killing people and give us a gun I don't care about. And that is Far Harbor essentially done. There's like nothing that can really hit you from this point, so it's all just kind of tying it up. So we go back to the Commonwealth. That's gonna put us directly at their house and we can just have one conversation and finish it. So yeah, that's Far Harbor. Much easier run than the base game, and much more consistent is the important thing. Like I did 2 runs and I got it both times. Like really nice and safe in a lot of sections. Like nowhere near the level of
Mr.
RNG
Nakano.
that the base game has.
I have bad news. Kasumi, she
But I don't
didn't
know
make
whether
it.
I'm gonna try any other DLCs. Like Nuka World sounds pretty miserable. Just thinking about like the gauntlet to get in, that sounds like a horrible place to not get hit. And I mean Automatron, you need to be level 15 to even start, so I don't really know what I'd do there. Maybe I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just console command up to 15 for the sake of doing it. I'm not really sure yet. But either way, that is Far Harbor done. No hit, no damage. Fresh start with the asterisks of not doing the pre-vault segment because you can't get hit there and it's boring. And that is the run done. Thanks for watching.